Hello, I'm Zakk from Blackjack Yugioh, showing an updated Burning Abyss deck profile because people have been bugging me about this on the team forever. And we're also going to show a 3-card combo that makes Curious Beatrice with live Malian Snow in the graveyard.
Alright, let's get to it.
We play a pretty standard BA lineup nowadays: 2 Skarm, 2 Farfa, Alec, Livic, Barbar, Calcab, Graf, Seer. These are your engine requirements. This is how you win in time, and this is just extra names. Calcab comes up sometimes, and Livic comes up in some OTK combos. 3 Fiendish Rhino Warrior. He's probably the second best normal summon in the deck, right next to Tour Guide. We also play Terratop and Takatamborg. Just it's a free Dante. You can always shuffle this back. You don't actually get it very often, but when you do, it's insane. I think it's worth playing. 2 Danger Tsuchinoko, 2 Danger Jackalope. Yes, the Tsuchinokos are signed by DZ himself.
You hated the danger cards in the deck at first, right?
I did because that was back when there was only 1 level 3 Jackalope.
Mm-hmm.
So the levels just didn't add up, and I also didn't think there were any good enough Link monsters to play yet. Now with Boral Sword and the fact that there's another really good level 3 Danger, they're 100% worth playing. I see some people playing Nessie. I haven't tested it out, mostly because I don't own Nessies. If I was, I'd probably try cutting the Terratops just because it's overall more consistent to get off. Then we play 1 Gallus. I only own 1. I'd probably cut Birdman if I own multiples, but this card is insane if you draw this in Gallus or this in Jackalope. I have one time because I went Gallus Effect, then bounced it with Birdman, so I could go Gallus Effect again. That was pretty hype.
Was that after tonight?
That wasn't tonight. That was at the Columbus Regional.
Okay.
2 Mathematicians and Edge Imps Sabers. This engine is just really good because if you don't need the Edge Imps Sabers in graveyard, this can just send Skarm or Snow. But if you need to make Dante, you can just stack whatever cards you want to mill off Dante to summon this back, so you send out Mathematician. I also crashed this a lot to draw cards because I'm very greedy. There was a lot of time left on the clock. Plus, this deck is really good in time anyways. For the good cards to mill, played Fairy Tale Snow.
I wonder when they're going to hit her.
It's Fairy Tale Snow.
No, they're not gonna
You're playing it. Zephyros the Elite. This is really cool in conjunction with the Dangers and Gallus. Another reason to play Nessie is just the fact that you have more targets to bounce with this. 2 Destiny Hero Malicious. Even though he's at 2, I still think he's worth playing. He's a free summon, and he's involved in the combo that I'll be showing later.
So when you open Malicious, do you have a way to get him out of your hand?
The Nightmare effects, or you can just shuffle him back with Sekka's Light.
Okay.
We don't play Fabled Sulcust anymore. There isn't enough space, realistically, and since you're not resolving the Isolde rank 6 combo, it's almost pointless. And for the Chaos Dragons, because these cards are insane, whoever thought of these to play in VA is a mad genius. 2 Collapse Servant, 2 Wyvern Buster. People play 3 of this. I'm a coward and don't want to mill multiples off Hydrolander, so even though you draw it more, that means you're also more likely to mill a duplicate, especially when you don't draw it. Well, technically, if you draw it, there's no chance of you hitting a duplicate because 1 is in your hand, 1 is banished, but that's besides the point.
So what's the spice on that, though?
This is also part of the Curious Combo. And also that's Max. He's not part of the team. He's in the meme chat.
I'll be in
He's in the process, possibly. We'll see what happens.
ABC deck profile when, boys?
When?
Whenever Clint makes a new ABC deck. 3 Orbital Hydrolander, best boss monster in the deck. I play BLS. People are playing Dark Arm Dragon and Chaos Dragon Levianeer. I'm not a big fan of Levianeer because it banishes 3, and I haven't had much testing with Dark Arm Dragon. I feel like just because he's slightly harder to summon, he doesn't always end games. He's more likely to be a brick. I realize you can play Eclipse Wyvern to summon off the Summon Sorc and use just like 1 more card in your extra deck to do the same combo I'm going to be showing.
And you're not playing a Sold anymore, right?
I'm not playing a Sold.
Okay, so you're just hoping to draw
an extra
into
boss monster.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you basically just draw it. It helps you win. I wanted another boss monster. I just feel like BLS is one of the best because he's easier to summon.
Okay.
And 3 Pot of Greed 2. This is Pot of Greed.
But better.
Pot of Greed also shuffled back Garnet.
Yeah. And if you're not playing any other spells.
Max.
Yep.
Pull out the Light Chaos Dragon, a BA, and Fiendish Rhino Warrior.
You got it.
Not a good BA. 2 Dante. If you need a third, you've lost. Beatrice. It's Beatrice. Pilgrim. Some people cut this. I've seen it coming back into extra decks recently, though. It doesn't come off often, but when it does, he's insane. I've also crashed Beatrice sometimes just to summon him to draw more cards because I'm greedy. Underclock Taker, Standard, Reproducus. This is part of the combo I'll show with Summon Sorceress. Nightmare, Cerberus, Phoenix, and Unicorn. You have to play these. I would play a second Phoenix if I wasn't playing all of these combo cards in my extra deck. You might be able to cut one of the boss monsters of the extra deck, like Borreload, more than likely, or Bomber Dragon, in order to play a second Phoenix if you feel like it's necessary. I don't feel like it's necessary though because I play Trisbania. This card's insane. It never resolves, but it's
still insane.
It always gets Widow Anchored. You go like, oh, I'll Kaiju him first. That never happens. It like, well, okay, it'll happen, and then like you realize you can't game them because your deck isn't good. Summon Sorc, Curious, part of the combo. Not a terrible cherries target. I don't play cherries, but you can still play this combo and have cherries in your extra deck if you really needed it. Bomber Dragon, burn damage. Also, he's really good in conjunction with Snow because you can just book something as Chainlink 2, and Chainlink 1 will blow the whole field. It came up a couple times against Thunder Dragons to help me out fusion monsters. Also, yeah, the burn just helps you put damage in so easy. Borreload. This is a locals call because people like playing True Draco. Somebody showed up with Cosmos.
Wait, who played Cosmos tonight?
Oh, there's a Cosmo Draco player. I played in round 1. That was pretty lit. I got to Borreload take Dark Destroyer. I've been waiting for it. And Boral Sword of the Burning Abyss. You summon this almost as much as Dante. And then for a side deck, this is recent. I play 4 different Kaiju names. Mostly for Hydralander. These 2 because they're smaller than Dante. This one because you can summon Takatomborg if you have to summon to your own side of the field. And it also, it's bigger than Beatrice but smaller than Big Dante, so you can crash into it if you just need the draws for to see if you can actually get somewhere in main phase 2. Then Dogron because he's the shiniest of the large Kaijus. And then 2 Ash, 2 Ogre, 2 and 2 because I don't think either of them are particularly amazing this format. But I feel like just because of the somewhat of combo decks, you have to play some hand traps, at least on the side. Card Destruction to help you draw into these. Thomas Rose made this standard. Man's probably the best BA player currently. Yeah, that's the side deck. And I believe this man has the cards I need for the combo. Oh my, you know what's funny is the video I showed on Burning Abyss Duelist, or Travelers of the Burning Abyss, whatever it's called, on Facebook. I used Parvar because I thought this is the first Burning Abyss monster I thought of. We don't get the cool stacked deck because I don't feel like doing that. We'd also have to cut. That's annoying. So my side deck will be the Field Center. I guess we can just use
an actual Field Center. Okay, yeah, it's pretty good.
Normal summon Fiendish Rhino Warrior, especially if you're summoning your Burning Abyss monster. You overlay into Dante. You will detach, calling whatever number you like. Some people like calling less than 3. I'm greedy, so we'll do 3. And then we will...
I don't think I've ever met anyone that's called less than 3.
I do it to attack over Abyss Dweller a lot because people like, why are you making that card against me? And I'll use Rhino's effect to send Graph. Graph will then summon Seer. And we will link 2 into Reproducus. You will then use Seer's Chainlink 1 targeting Dante, and Dante Chainlink 2 targeting Seer to summon Dante over here, adding Seer back to your hand. You will then banish the BA you started with, more than likely, unless you banish something that might have a duplicate in the deck, in case you have like Hydralander to make sure he's live later on. Then you use Reproducus, calling Dinosaur, to summon Sorceress. Then you use Wyvern Burster's effect to add a Collapse Serpent from your deck.
Yeah, you can splash Conductor into there.
Get out of here.
Summon Sorceress targeting Dante in order to bring Mali out of your deck. Now you'll special summon the Collapse Serpent from banishing the Wyvern Buster. Then you will link Collapse Serpent, Mally, and Summon Sorceress into Curious. Using Curious' effect to send Fairy Tale Snow from deck to grave as Chainlink 1, and Chainlink 2 will be Collapse Serpent, adding you another copy of Wyvern Buster, so you can just apply more pressure next turn. The free summon, well, for 2 free summons realistically, and I think Max stole my Fairy Tale Snow because it is not in my deck anymore. Where is it?
$20 is the 3 you milled.
Right there. No, I already checked their BAs. And Curious Mandatory Effect mill 3 more cards. And you pitch Seer to make Beatrice. So now you have a live Snow, a live Mally, you have a follow-up in Wyvern Buster as well, along with the Beatrice effect, and Curious Mandatory Mill during their turn. I believe it's mandatory. I'm not reading this card right now.
It's a mandatory mill.
It is. So, yeah, you have Mally and Wyvern Buster to help you follow up next turn, along with Beatrice and Snow to interrupt them. / follow up if they don't do anything worthy because you're at locals. Yeah, that's the deck. That's the combo. If you have any questions in the comments, I'll happily answer. I really love this deck. It's my second favorite of all time. And I hope to keep making it better over time. All right, it's Blackjack Yu-Gi-Oh! Check out Heroes and Games.